All right, now that we got all the technical bullshit out of the way, what's going on, fam? This is your host of the most Philly Jim coming to you guys with another stream. Welcome to another episode of the Read and React Show. Joey Shakes, how you doing tonight, bro?
I'm all right. Sorry, guys. I had a little issue with my Twitter account. I was locked out of it because I guess I don't know. I guess I was putting in the password a few times. So I'm good now. I just had a little bit of technical difficulty, so I'm ready to do this.
Awesome, man. Well, you know what? The Eagles, they're taking on the Miami Dolphins this week, so we got a lot of things to get into. The Eagles do control their own destiny from here on out. If they win out, they will be the NFC's champs, and we'll get into the playoffs. But were a lot of things that came out this week. Michael Vick had his comments on Carson Wentz, and we'll get to that. The Eagles injury report, guys are expected to return this week, so we'll cover that in a minute. And who do you guys blame the most? That's my poll question. Who do you guys blame the most for this Philadelphia Eagles season? We know there's plenty of blame to go around, but here are your options. You can blame Carson Wentz, Mike Groh, Doug Peterson, Howie Roseman. We'll get to that, and then to end the show, we're gonna introduce the newest segment, which is the Sit the Fuck Down Award. And this week, the Dallas Cowboys fan base won the voting. It was a pretty tight voting, but there was actually a three-way tie that I had to put up a new poll for, and Cowboys ran away with it. But right, we'll get right into things. I want to start with Michael Vick's comments. Now, Michael Vick came out and he said he thinks Carson Wentz will, quote unquote, fail in Philadelphia, and that Nick Foles winning the Super Bowl has already set the ceiling, and he doesn't think Carson Wentz is ever going to reach that ceiling. Is he right or wrong, Joe, when he says that?
I think like half of it. I think he's right and he's wrong in certain aspects of it, just because, like, I know Nick Foles has set that ceiling. I think like Nick Foles winning the Super Bowl for the Eagles has like really screwed Carson Wentz in his head a lot. I think he thinks about it at some points. I think he does think about it, where this team is heading, that he has to live up, has to live up to, Nick Foles winning the first Super Bowl for Philadelphia. And not only that, but having a damn statue right in the front of Lincoln Financial Field. So that probably doesn't help either. But when it comes down to being a failure, I don't think so. I think who's ever jumped off the bandwagon, or who's ever jumped off the Carson Wentz wagon, stay the hell off that wagon. You know what I mean? Stay off, because you know what? Don't even come back when he's playing well. Because honestly, from what's going on right now, between the coaching is going to affect the player, and that's just how it goes. Like if Mike Groh and Doug Peterson aren't really planning against defenses, and they're not doing the right thing, and the play calling is not great, and Mike Groh's not putting the players in the right positions to win football games, then if you're not playing the Carson Wentz strengths, not only just injuries, not only just doing the same plays, looking just looking like predictable to defenses, is not helping at all. But Michael Vick, I don't like these ex-Eagles quarterbacks talking shit about, quarterbacks that we have now. I mean, I know McNabb has done it, and I don't like McNabb's takes on Wentz at all. And hearing Michael Vick, talking about failure, he's lucky to even got a second chance in the league, after the whole dog bullshit, the dog fighting bullshit and everything like that. He should kind of sit the fuck down a little bit, because nobody had to take him. Imagine Michael Vick not leaving the Atlanta Falcons. Like, imagine that happening and what he could have done his whole career, if he didn't get into the trouble that he did get into. But he should really not talk so damn much, and kind of sit the fuck down a little bit, because you know what? This is just a really bad year, and there's going to be some people getting fired, and this is just really bad. And this offense is really based off of tight ends. You got to say it, like tight end screens. I mean, Zach Ertz gets 20 targets. I mean, it's just ridiculous now. And then Alshon Jeffrey's not playing to his ability. Nelson Aguilar is just having a down year as usual. And the Eagles are favoring these veteran players over young players. Throw them in the deep end. Is it really going to hurt to throw these young guys in the deep end? Hopefully this week that they do that. But Michael Vick has got to. Yeah, I understand. I understand that. What he's saying is true. Like, Carson Wentz needs to win a damn Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, that's got to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But talking about this year, though, there's more into it. So when you say Carson Wentz sucks or something like that, has he thrown bad passes? Yes. Has he looked horrible? Yes. But not playing to his strengths. And I'm not giving Carson Wentz a pass whatsoever. But I know for a fact that Carson Wentz will win a championship for the Philadelphia Eagles. But just because it's this year, everyone's starting to give, everyone's starting to give their fucking 2 cents about it. And Michael Vick should not be one of those guys. So that's all I really got to say about that.
I'm going to give my take on it. I agree with you, and I did make a video on this, but I'm going to just go over what I said. Basically, Carson Wentz is wrong. Michael Vick is wrong about Carson Wentz, but he's also right about Carson Wentz, but maybe not in the way that you would think. He's right in the sense that a ceiling has been set, and Carson is currently fighting an uphill battle, and it is eating away at him. And it's not gonna happen in a year for him to win this uphill battle. It's gonna take probably more time than the rest of this season. But there's a way he can get out of his own head, and that is by showing he can lead this team to the playoffs. And I'll get to that in a minute. But he's right in the sense it's very difficult to win this uphill battle. He's right in the sense that a bar has already been set for him by Nick Foles winning that championship. But let's not act like this has never happened to anybody before. And let's not act like Nick Foles has Hall of Fame credentials. Let me bring 2 guys up to your attention. 2 guys that are one of them's already in the Hall of Fame. The other is a lock to be in the Hall of Fame. Their names are Steve Young and Aaron Rodgers. And Steve Young had probably the biggest shoes of all time that he ever had to fill, Joe Montana. Before there was Brady, there was Joe Montana that people were saying, this guy's the GOAT. And he had to step in, and he finally won a Super Bowl. And once he won that Super Bowl, they've shown the clip for years now of Steve Young when the 49ers won that Super Bowl. He was on the sideline. He was like, get this monkey off my back. And that was the monkey that was on his back, and Carson Wentz has a monkey that's on his back. Rodgers, he had to come in for Brett Favre, and he has totally lit it up ever since then. So it's really a huge stretch and a reach by Michael Vick to say Carson is going to fail in Philadelphia. But I think this is just part of his job. He works for TV now, so he has to say things that rile up the fans. But he does have a lot of things going against him, but let's not act like it's impossible to overcome or, this is some unsurmountable feat that Carson Wentz is going to have to reach. He can reach it. He's shown us he can have the ability to reach it, and he's going to do it. And it may not be this year. It may not be next year, but before his career is over, he will have a good career, and I think we will win a Super Bowl with this guy. And the people that are getting off the bandwagon and the people that are bringing up Nick Foles is just ridiculous. Nick Foles, he did what he did here in Philadelphia. No one will ever take it away from him, and he'll never have to buy a drink again. But if you think for a second, I've said this a lot of times, but if you think for a second Foles was just going to come in here with all the shit that's gone wrong with this team, it starts at the top with Howie Roseman. He did not do enough. Doug has not done enough. Mike Groh has not done enough. The receivers have not done enough. If you think Nick Foles, one guy is going to step in and poof, everything's gone, that's not the way it works. So a lot of people are getting on Carson Wentz, and I think there's just a little bit of recency bias because his last 2 games have not been good. If he played well the last 2 games, I don't think anybody would really have to say anything about it. But it's the way it is, and he's going to have to get back on track and show us what he can do. But as far as Michael Vick, I think the comments were out of pocket. I think he was reaching for the stars there, and he got quite a reaction from the fan base. But that's all I have to say about that. So we'll move on to the next part. We have the injury report. And before we get into that, I want to say that we are getting some dudes back. They're saying Alshon is supposed to play. They're saying Aguilar is supposed to play. Lane Johnson was a full participant. So having that guy is huge for us. Really, really. There's a big difference when Lane Johnson plays and he doesn't play. But Whiteside is, according to Doug Peterson, Whiteside is going to be a starting wide receiver from now on, out on the opposite side of Alshon Jeffrey. So, Joe, I just want to ask you, when you first heard that, what was your reaction?
I said yes. Finally. And you know how when like someone says they're going to get playing time and then they give them like 2 snaps. It doesn't sound like it's one of those. It sounds like that J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is going to be opposite of Alshon Jeffrey on the field, getting a ton of reps. Don't take him out of the game. Let him just play. Throw him in the fire. Let him play. Because not only you have J.J. Arcega-Whiteside on the other side, you have right behind those 3 wide receivers as the 4th wide receiver, you have Greg Ward right there as well. So you can always put Greg Ward in there, and he looked very good last week too. Mm-hmm. Greg Ward was probably the best receiver on the field last week, and like the quickness that he looked like coming off the line. And there were some passes that Carson Wentz could have got to him, but throwing the opposite way and just not really having a good day, of course. I'm really happy about this, and right. I know it's weird because it's like you have 2 possession receivers, but this is what we wanted because what Mike Rowe did, weeks back, he's like, well, Alshon Jeffrey's not hurt, that's why JJ hasn't gotten reps. But then another week it was from Mike Rowe, JJ has learned every position on the every wide receiver position, whether it's a slot or either side, on the outside. So honestly, I want to see what this guy can do. I know he hasn't really even still got enough reps, and he really just needs to be in a whole entire game. He just, as of right now, from now to the end of the year, he needs to be there, until we get to if we can make the playoffs, and see what Deshaun Jackson, what's going on with him at the time, if we make it to the divisional round today. I mean, good thing. But I'm happy about this. Yep. This is what I wanted, and let the kid go out there and show what he's got. That's it.
Yeah. I'm going to quote LeBron James. When LeBron won his first title with the Miami Heat, he went up to the podium and he said, "It's about damn time." And I've been saying this for a long time that I think he should have been playing over Mac Hollins. And I feel like, they put him in an unfair situation. The coaches did. And he finally gets his shot at starting. So hopefully he goes out and plays and he becomes a reliable target. Hopefully he can get some separation and make some big catches. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this kid has got. So we'll go to the injury report now. Getting a lot of guys back, though, which is good. So if we're able even to get a little more healthy, Cravon LeBlanc was activated this week. So he was at practice. So at a position that was once very much a liability, it seems pretty damn deep right now. So I'm feeling pretty good about the corner situation. The offensive line, mentioned Lane Johnson, and Brandon Brooks had to leave the game for his anxiety issue. And I have like a weird theory that I want to bring up. Let me know what you think about this. This is what I want to know. So Lane Johnson and Brandon Brooks they're like best friends. And I think Brandon Brooks with his anxiety thing, I think he got a little nervous not having like Lane by his side. And I know that can be a little out there, but personally, I think it makes a lot of sense. So, and he was very open about his anxiety issue. So people that were bashing him for that, you guys are crumbs and assholes. But these 2 dudes on that right side of the line, you get the damn job done. So having Lane back is going to be huge. Brooks out there. So hopefully, because Andre Dillard did not have a good day at right tackle. Even before when they said he was going to play right tackle, they said, or Andre was like, hey, this is basically like you're right-handed and you have to write with the left hand or something like that. And as soon as he said that, I said, this doesn't sound too good. And it wasn't. So offensive line's pretty much all there. We're getting a lot of guys back. So I think we went out, we run the table. Anything can happen in January, as our rivals, New York Giants, have shown us. So I don't know. What about how do you feel about this injury report and these guys getting healthy?
I'm good with it. I mean, Lane Johnson's a huge thing. I knew when Andre Dillard was moving the right tackle, I knew that was going to be a bad idea. I had a feeling that he was going to be toast. I mean, just like you said, just the way, like, when you're so used to one position, it's just like you can't just practice for 1 week at right tackle. If you're a left tackle, you can't practice for 1 week at another position and act like something is going to happen and you're going to play well. It's not the case. I mean, he's lucky Jadeveon Clowney wasn't even playing in that game. But it's not something. I mean, I understand they put Vaitai definitely because Vaitai could play left tackle, right guard, a little bit at right tackle. So I mean, Vaitai's the swing guy, pretty much. And I guess they want to see what he could do. I mean, that's our left tackle of the future. You're not going to see anything else. Even Jason Peters came out and said this morning that he's willing to play another position if he has to. But At his age, I just don't think, he should be even trying to learn another position. I don't know if he'll be quick at it, but from what's going on with these injuries, you're getting Lane Johnson back, and next to Brandon Brooks, and part of that whole Brandon Brooks thing too that I read about was that new deal that he got kind of like, I guess, stressed him. I guess because there's so much, he just got a big deal, and you know what, and maybe he just took it, too hard, not in like a negative way, but he's got a lot riding on him as one of the best right guard, as one of the best top 3 guard, probably the best guard, the right guard in the league. So I'm good with these. The injury reports. The injury report's fine. Crayvon LeBlanc starting to practice now, so we'll see what happens with that, which I'm really happy about. And that's pretty much it. As long as Lane's back, I'm pretty much set. I know Jordan Howard's got the stinger still in his shoulders, so probably won't come back. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I want to say about the injury report is I don't know what the hell is going on with Jordan Howard. What is the deal with this medical staff and these terminologies that they make up? Oh, well, Jordan Howard has a stinger. What the hell is a stinger? And they said it's minor. He shouldn't be out. Be out that long or whatever. So he had the bye week and he's missed the last 2 games and he's still limited. Like, we kind of need this guy for this run that we're going to go on. He's kind of been our most consistent player on the team. It would help if he was out there. So I don't know anything about him. I haven't heard if he's good or if he isn't. But you know what? We need this dude out there. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to take this is going to transition us right into our next subject. Now, Jake Elliott signed an extension today and re-signed our long snapper last week. So, I see us signing all these special teamers, and I'm like, where is Jordan's money at? Like, we need to pay this man. We're paying special teamers, and we're not paying this man. We need to pay this man his money so we can keep him around a couple more years until Miles Sanders emerges as a lead running back in the National Football League. We kind of need to pay this guy, and I really hope Howie doesn't go cheap like he always does with the running back position. I mean, it was just asking a lot for him to draft Miles Sanders in the 2nd round because for years, all he does is draft running backs in the 5th round. So that's what we were discussing last offseason was this dude needs to draft Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, one of these top guys, so we actually have a running game. So even that was asking a lot for him. But you know what? I have a bad feeling he's just not going to want to pay Jordan Howard because the running back position is not something he values whatsoever. So where do you stand on that?
That's why I think with J.J.'s contract after this year, they got that clause in his contract that if a team offers J.J. a contract after this year, the Eagles have to match that offer or top that offer to keep him on the roster. So I don't know, because I know J.J. coming back now, he only had a few carries last week. It wasn't much, but I know he's not going to be too explosive. Hasn't had a lot of. He's been sitting home working out. It's all he's really been doing. But Jordan Howard needs a contract. I know Miles Sanders had like 63 yards. Rushing with the football, but they got to put Miles Sanders in that receiving game too, which they haven't been doing as well. I've noticed that they haven't been putting Miles Sanders in there getting the football, but I understand with these running backs, we've honestly been plugging in running backs for for the past few years, just plugging in guys through the 4th, 5th round running backs, and guys that actually have worked out better than I thought. Maybe like Wendell Smollett has worked out a lot better than he did before he left and went to the Redskins, and Josh Adams was pretty much just like
Jesus.
Was he did what he could do. He did some good things for us, but he wasn't that bruiser back that we really needed. He really didn't. He wasn't like a bruiser. He kind of like got up to the line, became very patient, and took forever just to. I just didn't like that run style from Josh Adams. Now he's with the New York Jets now. And this makes sense as you sign Howard for a few more years. I think he wants to be here until Miles Sanders is ready for his contract, because Miles Sanders is going to be. I think Miles Sanders has gotten a lot better the past game by game. He's getting a lot better. I could see that he's got good recognition on when he's running with the football. His vision is really good. I just see his little jump cuts, his little juke moves. He's looking like a real good athlete out there. I'm telling you, he's looking like a really nice running back. I can't wait to see just with experience down the road what he's going to look like. But sign Jordan Howard to a deal to where he'll be a free agent by the time Miles Sanders needs to get paid, and that's it. So I'm kind of like, I don't want Howie to go cheaper, but I just have a feeling that this J.J. crap that's going on with his contract, he's going to want J.J. to go behind Miles Sanders if, they don't want to pay Jordan Howard. They might not even want to pay Jordan Howard. They might not even offer him anything, but I think Jordan Howard does want to be here. I think he loves it here, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I the only reason why I'm saying this is because given with Howie Roseman's history, I don't see him paying Jordan Howard the money he deserves. So, I mean, I don't feel good about it. So, I guess we'll move on to the next part of the show, which is finally going to be the preview. Going into Miami, arguably the worst team in the NFL. So, I think if we lose this game, Joe, we got some serious problems on our hands.
We could lose it. We could lose this game.
So?
We could lose. I mean, if we look,
of course we can lose. Any team can lose any Sunday.
Right. If we play like how we've been playing the past couple weeks, or for our offense, I'm not even worried about the defense. I don't even care if Rashard Penny ran a 58-yard run on us. Do I care? Of course I do. But if the offense isn't even producing like nothing, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from too, but I definitely don't see us losing this game. I'm sorry, but this team they've lost a lot of their starters for the year. But, you can't sleep on the Dolphins either. I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout or anything. It should be, but knowing this team, their consistency, will probably win a tighter game than expected. So I just don't know where to start. This team just isn't very good. So if there's one game that I think Carson Wentz could come out and break out of this slump that he's been in for at least a month now, he can get back on track and get confidence. And then you got Monday night against the New York Giants. And then you go to Washington, and then Dallas comes to us week 16. You close out at the Meadowlands against the Giants. If you're able to do that, I think that is the first step for Carson Wentz to kind of get out of his own head. Once he breaks through, leads a team to the playoffs, wins a division, who knows if he can even win a playoff game. But if, let's say, he wins a playoff game, that will give him the confidence he needs going into the following season, because he will say, hey, I've led a team to the playoffs. I know what January football is like. I've been there, done that. Let's get back. So that is the main thing that I'm focused on, is getting Carson Wentz out of this slump, attacking this Miami Dolphins defense, and everything else should probably take care of itself, because they are really, 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 really bad. So definitely, if we lose this game, a lot more people need to be fired than we even thought needed to be fired before. And before, we thought a lot of people needed to be fired. So that just tells you a lot. So what are you looking at this game, Joe?
We got to score 30 points on this team. Like, we have to. Like, who's on the Dolphins, really? Xavier Howard. They traded for Aqib Talib for a 5th-round pick from the Rams. Kenyon Drake's gone. Who's going to be the quarterback? Ryan Fitzpatrick? I don't even freaking know, because I haven't watched the Miami Dolphins at all. So I don't even know. Offensive line, they have nobody. The Miami Dolphins offense should get eaten up. But here's the thing. And talk about Carson Wentz doing good in this game. There is a issue right now. Like, Doug Pearson's press conference, his post game, talked about Carson has a half-field mentality. So what I'm thinking right now is that Carson Wentz is having trouble with his progressions. Carson Wentz is literally looking at one guy and he's aiming at that guy. Like, he's having trouble with progressions. Like, you see these other quarterbacks, like, this guy's not open, you look at and you dump it down if you have to. Like, you're not looking at your progressions. Carson Wentz I don't see him working with his progressions. I see him literally getting the ball in his hands. He's looking in one direction the whole entire time as he gets the ball in his hands. And that's it. He throws the ball and makes it so damn obvious. He makes it obvious when we're running the ball. He makes it obvious who we're throwing it to. That's the problem. There is, because you look from 17, even not really 18 too much, but in 17 he had progressions. But he's having, so in layman terms, he's having trouble seeing the full field, as you could say, the full field. Right. But I think part of that is because he knows that internally in his mind, he knows that this guy's not going to be open. This guy's not going to be open. I'm just going to try to get it to Ertz or try to get it to this guy, whether it's a tight end screen outside, a tight end middle screen. I'm sick of these tight end screens. I can't stand it. I mean, I'm happy that Doug utilizes the tight ends very well. I mean, I'm glad that he gets Goddard in there and Ertz in there, of course. But Carson Wentz's progressions have to get better. He needs to see the full field, because and it doesn't help to not have weapons. It doesn't help. I mean, this Sunday we're going to have 2 possession receivers on the field, pretty much. We're not going to have too much speed, but there was a time it was on their Seahawks 10-yard line, and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside ran a slant, and he beat his guy, and Carson just threw a really bad pass. Would have been open, but threw a bad pass. Another time, Whiteside was on the left, Ward was on the right. Ward burnt his corner, and there was a nice space to throw. And then Wentz throws to the left side when JJ's in double coverage, and the ball gets picked off. I mean, it's just –
he definitely threw some bad passes.
It was just bad. And I know these guys could play better. I know this team could play so much better. We could have won these past 2 games the past couple of weeks, but it's all about Parsons' progressions. But when it comes down to it, the coaches need to put him in a better position. The route combinations have to be better, because if you don't have the right speed and the right guys doing the right routes or whatever they're doing that you're trying to get open, that's the problem. If you're not using these receivers the right way with their route combinations, and they're not getting. If you can have the best offense in the world, but if these guys are running like random routes that they're not going to get open on certain plays, Carson Wentz is going to hold the ball and he's going to get sacked, and it's just a total mess. So I'm hoping Sunday I see a little bit more better progression, and I know there'll be a better protection. Lane Johnson coming back, Brandon Brooks being on that right side, and I want to see JJ get open. I want to see some fire out of this receiver core, and Nelson Aguilar better do something. Alshon Jeffrey, I know they're probably one or two of them is definitely playing hurt. At least I don't know if Alshon Jeffrey is playing partially hurt. Someone is going to be playing not 100%. It's either going to be Nelly or it's going to be with the knee injury or it's going to be Alshon Jeffrey, or they're both not going to be playing at 100%. I don't even know that officially, but we'll see how they look because we'll be able to tell when they're going off the ball and see what happens. But I'm hoping JJ, and I just want things to open up a little bit. And this is a good test against a bad team because now I want to see. I'm not even worried about the defense, really. I'm not even worried about the defense. The offense, there is going to be a lot of trouble, a lot of problems. If it's a close game and we beat them by a field goal, that's not good. It is not good,
that's
period.
Because
I don't say that the Miami Dolphins are going to beat us as a joke. I'm saying it because it could actually happen because you know how the Eagles could literally shoot themselves in the foot, whether it's penalties, whether we can't even pass the ball. I mean, you never know. But at this point, I think we could beat them. I don't have us losing, but I think we could beat them. But I really want to I want positivity coming out of this game. I want them on fire, and then we start this run. I mean, that's what I want.
Right, I totally agree. We need to kick some ass. I think that can get us out of our own heads, and we'll say, hey, just take care of our own business, control our own destiny, and we'll be in the playoffs in January. Dallas has to come to our house for that final game, which I definitely prefer them coming to us with the division on the line than us going there like we saw last year. Mm-hmm. But anyway, man, this is a game we should get back on track. Carson Wentz can get out of this slump that he's in, and we can get him rocking and rolling once again. So we're going to go to the last part of the show, new segment, which was the Sit the Fuck Down Award. And I did have a poll up, and there were a lot of people that got votes, but it did come to a three-way tie between Jimmy Butler from the Miami Heat, and then Dallas Cowboys fans and Carson Wentz fans. But when I put the new poll up, the Dallas Cowboys fans, and there's been a lot of Cowboys fans in the chat. Saw Mosh running his mouth and Harlem Cowboy, same old trolls. See you guys in here, but I'm going to invite you to sit the fuck down after all this shit that you and all your fan base has been talking about. We're going to beat the fucking Patriots. And Dak Prescott is MVP of the league, and he's this and he's that. And you know what? All that other shit that you guys have been bloviating about. Well, sit the fuck down. Stay comfortable, because I don't anticipate you guys really standing up for a long time. But I will say this. I did not vote for the Dallas Cowboys fans, and I wouldn't have voted for them, even though they're obnoxious as shit and I can't stand them. I would have chosen Jimmy Butler, because Jimmy Butler, what he's been doing pretty much since he left Philly, he's been talking about everyone on the Sixers, and there's even more interviews came out from him today bashing his teammates in Philly, saying his teammates didn't work hard and shit like that. Even following a 40-point fucking loss in Philly on Saturday night, and you continue to still run your mouth, just sit the fuck down. So that's why he would have got my vote. But according to the fam, Dallas Cowboys Nation, sit your ass down. Mosh, sit your ass down, my brother. And while you're at it, go to a barbershop, because you look like you should be on fucking Duck Dynasty. That's all I got to say. Who would you vote for, Joe? if you had to vote for someone to sit the fuck down for this past week?
I'm probably going to go with the Cowboy fans, honestly, because you know what? I mean, there's just a game ahead of the Philadelphia Eagles. And even like, it really teaches you a lot because even during that Patriots game, you really think about it, like, the Cowboys have the better personnel, but the Patriots just have the better coaching, and it really does show. And there was just hype between both teams started this year before everything started to fall down, and both teams don't look great. It's not even about who's really better, but neither team is better regardless. I think the Eagles could play better. I think the coaching aspect is just really down right now. But I mean, they shouldn't really be running their mouths at all, just because it's just we're not hyping up too much, but it's just being one game in front, and Dak really hasn't shown much this year. Wentz hasn't shown much either this year at all. Besides these last, 4 or 5 games, I mean, really beginning of the year to middle of the year, kind of quarter of the year, Wentz really wasn't the problem at all. These receivers weren't getting open, and it caused a lot of issues. And now, because of that, Wentz is now playing worse and bad. And now everything's just bad.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a combination of things. First of all, I think Carson's trying to prove way too much. This goes with what I say. The guy has to get out of his own fucking head. It starts with him. So he has to do it. And I think the first step to doing it is to win this division, lead this team into January football. But there's a lot of things that go into it. The coaching, I definitely don't think he trusts the receivers at all after the way shit has gone this year. So when you have all those things on the field at the same time, it's probably not going to go too well for you. But we got a game against Miami. This is a 5-game season now, so hopefully this Eagles team can do what they did last year when they were 5-6. They turned it around and went on a nice little Super Bowl title defense. So let's see if this team can rally together, starting with a big win in Miami. With that being said, guys, I hope everyone has a good Thanksgiving. Good holiday. Enjoy all the food and shit and watch some games. I definitely will. So we'll see you guys later, unless Joe has anything else to say.
I'm pretty much good. I'm good. The last thing I'm really gonna say is that they need to just play better. I mean, they got to play. I mean, honestly, they just need to play a little bit better than what they've done the past few weeks. They really just need to. I want to see a different Eagles team on Sunday offensively. Defensively, I'm not even worried about it. I've been very, very impressed by these cornerbacks and the linebackers. And, my God. And this pass rush, I mean, the Dolphins, we should be eating up that offensive line. And this offense needs to take advantage. I mean, hopefully get some turnovers and do some good things. Yeah. And we need to get in there and get it right. So that's about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Thanks for attending another episode of Read and React. We will see you guys later. Go Birds. Let's get a big win this week. Peace out.
Peace.